All right. Well, great evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Jessica Johnson. I am out of Apopka, Florida, originally from Anderson, South Carolina. And tonight, you guys are definitely in for a treat. Now, tonight we're talking about an entrepreneurship opportunity that is made for my generation. I am a millennial born in 1988, and we're talking about Generation Z as well. And that entrepreneurship opportunity is being a travelpreneur. Now, if you're on here, you know somebody that's a millennial. You might be a millennial. You know somebody that's a Gen Z. And I know we have some Gen Z on the line this evening. So go ahead, drop your generation in the chat. I do want you all to represent your generation. If we have baby boomers, Generation X, all you guys go ahead and drop that in the chat so we can see who is out there this evening. And as you guys are doing that, I want to bring my co-host to the front of the stage, the virtual stage. That is Director Michael Broner Jr. Now, Director Broner is my coach and mentor in this opportunity, and he called to play for me. He said, Jessica, you need to talk to your people. You need to talk to your generation because they are missing out on an opportunity of a lifetime. Hey, hey, baby boomers in the chat. And I definitely said, you are right. So let's do it. Now, Director Broner, he looks like a millennial, but I don't think he might have just missed it just a little bit. But he's a father, he's a husband, he's a son. He fought for our freedom, guys. He earned himself 2 Purple Hearts as an Army Ranger in the United States Army. And now he's fighting for our financial freedom. And I promise you, he will earn his Purple Hearts and doing that for us here as well. Now, he's here to make sure that I stay on track because as a millennial, I get a little bit distracted. But Director Broner, come on to the front. Let the people know who you are and how you got here.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, first of all, can you hear me and can you see me okay?
I can hear you and see you just fine.
Okay, great, great. Well, thank you so much for that gracious introduction. And before you said it, I'm sure everybody thought I was 25, but I'm not. I'm not. But thank you for clarifying that a little bit. I can see the smiles on some of their faces, but you said nothing about yourself. We have a very responsible Zoom tonight. And I'm gonna help the listeners out tonight before I let you know who you just heard from. I'm gonna help you out because I'm gonna introduce her. I'm gonna let you know who you heard from. And while I'm doing that, that gives you the opportunity, no matter what your generation is, everybody knows somebody who's a baby boomer a millennial and a millennial and or a Generation Zer. Everybody knows somebody like that, right? And so I want you to go ahead and ease them on the Zoom while I'm buying you time to do that. But here's what I want you to do as well. I want you to listen to me very carefully because this young lady who you just heard from, bad to the bone. She is a millennial, right? Now, can I tell you that she is a millennial that is a professional, right? She is a pharmacist by day. This is a full-time job, a pharmacist by day. But she's smart enough and intelligent enough to know that she needed another gig. This is the new gig economy. She needed something else that could bring additional income into her household, right? Different streams of income into her household on a part-time basis, whether from the comforts of her home or on her smartphone. She absolutely is a partner that I'm enjoying to be with here tonight, and I can't wait to get this started. We're going to talk about it. I want y'all to pay very close attention, but I want y'all to do something as well in that chat, if y'all don't mind. Whatever generation you representing tonight, whether it's Generation Z, whether it's millennials, whether it's Generation X. They seem to forget about Generation X all the time. Where's the baby boomers? I saw the boomers putting boom in the right. If whatever generation that you're representing tonight, I want you to go ahead and proudly put it in the chat, because although we're going to make sure that tonight this Zoom is absolutely 100% catered to the millennials, the Gen Zs, you'll find that it's going to benefit each and every one of you, and everybody know a millennial or a Gen Z. So Dr. Johnson, thank you so much. I only asked once and I didn't even get all that out of my mouth, and you said, yes, I'm here. It makes sense. We need to do this. So thank you so much. Why do you feel, just to kick off, and we buying some folks some time, right? But we're going to get started. But why do you feel it is very important, and this is a very responsible call or Zoom tonight, to talk about the millennials as well as the Gen Zs? What's your thoughts on that tonight?
Yeah, I think it's important because and I don't want to keep saying millennial, but you guys know where I'm at. Growing up, my parents, they told me to go to school, get your degree so that you can get a good job, right? Which is great advice. And I did that, right? I went to school, I have a degree in biology, I became a pharmacist, uh, I went to 2 years of residency, did some extra training. I can have a great career. I cannot say anything bad about it. Besides that, the fact that our time frame now it's pretty difficult. You can have a career in that 40 years, 40 hours per week to work 40 years and retire. People don't have pensions anymore. People are working way beyond that 40-year time frame just to make ends meet. And so I see the future, especially with the patients that I work with, and I said, oh, something ain't right here. And just like everyone else in my generation, we have a lot of student loan debt. Taxes are high. No one taught us a lot about taxes. And I got started in this opportunity because someone said I could save on my taxes. And that's what prompted me. I was already traveling, and then I was kind of diving into entrepreneurship. And they said, hey, if you own a travel business or a home-based business, you can save on your travel and save on your taxes. My generation spends $200 billion annually in travel. $200 billion annually in travel. Generation Z, as they're graduating from undergrad, they're starting to hit those milestones of wanting to buy a house, buy a car, get married, have children. And we're all seeing the impact of the economy, as well as the things that we were sold, the dreams we were sold. And that dream is not exactly what we thought it was going to be. So that's why I got started. I was already doing it, and I will not look back. My mom actually got me started, you guys. She sold me the dream and then showed me a new one. So I appreciate her for that.
I love what you just said. And somebody sneeze, cough, they drop their phone. I don't want them to miss what you just said. A baby boomer who had a daughter that so happened to be a millennial shared this gig with her daughter. It made sense. You got started. I don't want anybody to miss that. We can say good night, God bless, based off that. This is serious what we're talking about, because can I tell you, Dr. Johnson, did you know that millennials, listen to this. Listen to this. We're going to get into your 7 points. Millennials are now the largest generation in the United States, the US, representing 1/3 of the population.
Mm.
Now, I pause on purpose because I want you to understand how many millennials out there running around. And can I tell you, they do not want to be tied down. Any millennials on here agree with me? Help me out. Any
Love.
millennials on here agree with me? Put in the chat. Look, I see you, Catherine. Put in the chat. Oh, he talking about me. I don't want to be tied down. They don't. They're willing to do what it takes. And some don't 100% know what it is they want to do yet. So if that company pays $1 more.
Yeah. Yeah. My generation and the generation behind me, we are not working for a company for 20 plus years. I'm dedicated to my company for at least 10 years because of student loan forgiveness. But a lot people are not staying in their jobs anymore, and job security is very fragile. And that's one thing about my generation. There's not a lot of stability in the job market. As you guys have seen just from COVID, we were young when the housing crash happened, right? In 2008, we were in school. COVID hit, and now we saw how the job insecurity, or how the lack of security there is with our professions. And so we had to find something else to do to make ends meet during that time. So job security has definitely been a big thing for a lot of people in my generation, having to find something else to do.
I love that. I love that. And we're on the millennials as well as the Gen Z side tonight. We're here for you tonight because you're thinking, you're wondering, you're hoping, you're praying. What am I going to do? Is there something else to do? I don't want to do that. And we're going to help you tonight because you guys by 2025 are going to make up 75%. Dr. Johnson, listen to this. 75% of the workforce. They're going to make 75% of the workforce up. That means that they understand the fact, okay, we do have to do something. We are educated. We have a trade. We have skills. We are willing, but that's not, man, that's spending $1 trillion in consumer spending.
Mm-hmm.
And can I tell you that the travel industry, because tonight we're not just going to tell you stats, statistics. We're going to share with you the one thing that you absolutely are going to do, and you should own it. You should get paid for it. And can I tell you that the travel industry is a $9 trillion industry annually by itself? $9 trillion. Now, what was that stats you said about the millennials? They're traveling to the tune of what on an annual basis? What was it? $200 billion, I believe.
$200 billion. Yep. We're putting in PTO and hitting the beach. Gotta go out of office.
That's that's crazy. Let's talk about that. We talked about that 75% of the workforce by 2025, right? But here's
Yeah.
something else. Millennials and Generation Z, uh, as you stated in the 7 points that you shared with me, you know, they have various challenges within that workforce. Okay, we're going to talk about some of the 7 of the main key points, some of those challenges that millennials and Generation Z have in that workforce. At any time, if you're a millennial, if you're a Generation Z, I already know the X and the baby boomers. You saying me too. But at any time, if you're a millennial or Generation Z, and we hit on anything pertaining to you, go ahead and put me in that chat because we're going to help you out tonight. Okay. But the number one thing, Dr. Johnson, is job security, job insecurity. Job insecurity. What do we mean by job insecurity? What are we talking about with that?
Well, I mean, I live in an at-will state, so you can be fired at will, no cause, no, there's technology is coming in and taking over the careers that a lot of my generation went and received, whether it's computer science, even in healthcare. Artificial intelligence is coming in and taking over those positions, putting people out of work. People are going from, even as a pharmacist, I have colleagues who have gone from pharmacy into the tech field, into something else, because they're finding that they can be let go at a whim. For instance, for myself, people are leaving left and right just because either we can't hire or we can't keep people working. And I work for the government. So the economy, it fluctuates. Automation is putting people out of work. And so you're having to find something else to do to make ends meet.
Wow. You know, nearly 65% of this group that we're talking about tonight, they'd rather make less money at their job, a job they love, as compared to making more money at a job they find boring. Or let's face it, sometimes the people just don't understand who they are. They just don't understand what is it that they're there to do and what they want to do. And so I love what you said. Now we do have a lot of those millennials, those Gen Zers. A lot of the Gen Zs, I'm noticing they're opting out of the whole college dream. They're opting out of that because a lot of them told me or telling us, and we hear you. You know, as my son told me years ago. He told me, he said, look, he went to North Carolina A&T. He did a year. He made a decision not based off it not being for him, not that he didn't have a good year, not that he wasn't able to do it, not that he couldn't see himself doing some of the things that college, but he said, I don't want the future student loans.
Mm.
How in the world do you argue with that? We're talking about student debt. You know a little bit about that. Talk about that a little bit.
And if you guys know about student loan debt, and I feel like every generation at this point knows about student loan debt, but student debt is like you're carrying a bag of bricks trying to go up a hill at a 90-degree incline, and you still have that student debt holding on to your back. If y'all relate to me with the student debt thing, I want you to put in the chat me, okay? Now, like I said, I do have a lot of schooling, and I have a very nice home worth of student loan debt. And the reason I took my career the way I took it is because me's are in the chat, is because I have the opportunity to have my student loan debt forgiven, right? I still got to pay it. I still have a nice car payment of student loan debt that I pay every month. Your student loan debt can, like it's a car payment. I'm not buying a new car because I'm paying for my student loans, right? Some people aren't purchasing their home. They can't save for a home, our generation, because it's either pay your student loan debt or save to purchase a home, which those prices have skyrocketed. And if you guys know some people who are doing that, let me know. I need to connect them, because student loan debt is honestly putting a lot of people's lives on hold.
Yeah, I love that. And let's be honest. Once again, we're talking about the Gen Zs, the millennials. Uh, they have a personal life, and that's things they just absolutely want to do. And if anything conflicts with that work-life balance, right? You brought that
Mhm.
up. Number three, work-life balance. If anything conflicts with that, they're going to choose the life balance as opposed to the work part.
Yeah, yeah.
I, Let me say something before you come up. I want all my Gen Zs and millennials hold tight, because we're going to bring up these points. We're going to hit on your point, I guarantee it. And at the end, we're going to share with y'all what we found. Can I tell y'all? We found it. I want you to put in the chat, we found it. You don't know what it is yet, but we're going to share with you at the end. We have a solution for you. You don't want to go anywhere. Just hold tight. But let's talk about that work-life balance. You all want to work because you do want to make money, but oh my goodness, if it interferes with that life, oh, you want to go to Vegas. Oh, you want to go to Myrtle Beach. What you mean I got to work on Saturday? What you mean I work every other Saturday?
Mm-mm.
Come on,
I'm
Dr.
not
Johnson.
doing that.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, people will you see the memes and the gifs and things on social media, people talking about, I put in that PTO, whether you approved it or not, I'm on my flight, right? I can't say or deny if that has been me or not, but I have had some sick leave placed, and I was just sick of being at work, right? So having that work-life balance, having that mental health balance where you're stressed from work, if you have a family to raise, you're trying to make ends meet, you want to go to the gym, you're supposed to know how to pay your taxes, buy a house, buy a car, buy other property, build financial freedom, and clock into work for, you know, 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks. Buy groceries, cook dinner. What? Okay, sorry. I'm a little
Come on back. Come on back.
but that work-life balance is so important, and it just is very difficult to find it. It just seems very difficult to find. If y'all relate with me, put me in the chat again. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Ooh, look, people typing. Okay, come on in. So that work-life balance is very difficult. And when you have the finances, you have the time freedom. The time freedom is what I think a lot of my generation is craving. We're so time broke. We might have plenty of money, but we're time broke so that we can't have that work-life balance.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You talking about time, getting your time back. What's the most important thing that you have in life? Time, right? And can I tell you that that career, that job, man, it's giving you limited opportunities for career advancement, and it's giving you limited opportunity to have your time. I don't know a millennial or Gen Z. Oh, they can't be still. They do not want you to take their time. Am I talking to somebody tonight? You want all your time. Now
Mhm.
now once again, and I put that disclaimer out in the beginning. Look, Catherine, they shaking their head. And at the beginning, I put that disclaimer out. They're intelligent, they're smart, they know they need the money. But if there was a way to get the time and the money, oh, we're gonna share it with you. Y'all just hold tight. But when we talk about that lack of career advancement, do
Mhm.
you know that jobs have the nerve even not to pay them um to pay them enough to take care of their bills? Because millennials, my Gen Zers, they got bills. They paying real grown folk bills. They are. And that job don't understand that apparently, because they're not paying them enough. Something has to give. That's why they're searching for other gigs and things like that. Lack of career progression. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I love my career, and I did extra training to be at the top of my career. So when I got out of my training and started my career, I was already 2 years behind my colleagues who finished pharmacy school with me, who started making six figures 2 years before me, accruing student loan debt, got into my career, and I was at the top of my career. There's no progression from here besides becoming a supervisor, which that's just extra responsibility with maybe an extra $2,000 per year. No other changes in benefits or anything of that nature. And so this is it. And that hit me kind of rough when I first started my career, because I worked so hard for 11 years to get here. And then that's it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. I said out loud what you was feeling on the inside. Ouch. And I'm gonna add one more to it. I hate to do this. I'm gonna add number 5.
Okay.
Affordable. They have to pay rent. I mean, we know. Oh man, I don't know about where you guys live at. I know in South Carolina, some other parts of that $1,600, $1,800, $2,500 rent. You having to come together with 2, 3, 4, 5 people are coming together with 2, 3, 4, 5, roommates to try to make ends meet. Do you know ends don't supposed to meet? People going to get married, got a boyfriend or two to try to. I mean, they doing everything. I know. Yeah. All right. Not everybody. It might apply to somebody. Hopefully it don't. But okay. But you're talking about the rising housing cost, and guess what? They really don't want to go back home. They really want to be grown. But man, it seems like the economy and the housing market just won't let them. Talk about that a little bit. I can't wait. I can't wait to share with them how we can offset some of those costs. But talk to me a little bit. How's that rent down in that mortgage? How's that down there in Florida these days?
Well, when I moved from Illinois to Florida, the cost of living dropped. And so I was definitely excited about that. There's no state taxes here, but my job also dropped my pay just because I moved out of Illinois to Chicago or to.
Wait a minute, I had to interrupt you. Wait. This breaking news. Wait a minute. You said what? Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah.
You started off good. You said say that one more time.
Yeah. So my income dropped because where I was living, it costs more. The government bases your income on locality. And so when I moved to Florida, they cut my pay. They actually added responsibility. They didn't cut responsibility, but they did cut my pay just because I moved to Florida.
Okay. That's fair. Or is it?
No,
right?
I get it. I guess. But the cost of living, yeah, in Illinois, I ended up purchasing a home, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do so during the pandemic. Sold it, wish I would have kept it, but that's another story. But the rent for people, and we have Valencia in the chat, $2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. For what? Like the cost of a house now has, I mean, I don't know, Valencia, you can let us know if it's tripled, doubled, quadrupled. There's just no way. I saw on Instagram the other day, and clearly I need to stay off social media, but someone asked an older woman how much did she pay for her first home, and she said $12,000. What? I know how much money, the weight of money changes, but come on now. So it's hard. And then if you've messed up your credit because you had to make ends meet, right? When you were in school or when you were first starting out, you have consumer debt that you're trying to get out of. When I first got out of school, I had to get out of debt. And my parents said, I'll help you through undergrad, but after that, you got to figure it out. And so that's what I did. But it was rough. The start was rough. And I think that's something that my entire generation, probably everyone, has had to deal with at some point in life.
Yeah.
I went, girl, come to Florida, get out of California. So yeah, the housing market is ridiculous.
It's rough, and at the same time, you have healthcare to be concerned about. What happens if y'all? It's not okay. It's not if it happens. I should say what happens when something happens health wise. You go down. Do y'all know how many of y'all know? Typically, normally, when you get sick, your money gets sick. normally, typically, when you go on vacation, your money go on vacation. It seems like your money goes where. How many of y'all aware of that, right? And so now some of millennials, Gen Zs, everybody are working on a job because of the healthcare. That's why you're there, because of the healthcare benefits, which that's another training for another day, another story for another day. Which really, if you look at that, it really is. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that with all these, and of course, workplace culture. Talking about the issues when you're working for somebody else, being at their mercy. There's discrimination and lack of diversity, as you said in your notes. Toxic work environments, and you get mad, you go home, you cry, you tell somebody about it, but guess what you do the next day, because you don't have nothing else. You go back to work because you've been a responsible adult that has to be inside this abusive, and I mean abusive as in being toxic relationship with somebody who really really don't care about you, but ask you to do everything for them as if they do. So healthcare costs, workplace culture. Um, Talk about that real quick. What's your input on that? And let's share with the millennials and the Gen Zs. Let's share with them what we have, who we are, and how we can help them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, workplace culture, you're working with people who have different personalities. The book I read talks about principalities and spirits of the air. You never know who you're going to come against, and you really don't. Some people don't have a voice in their work life where they work. I've been in a couple of toxic situations, and some of you may be in one now, where you just don't want to go to work. You come to work and it just seems like your stomach drops. You hate being there, but you gotta get paid, right? People don't understand because there's just a mix of cultures that are working there, and some people just don't appreciate what you have to offer. But I have been blessed. I can say that the work culture that I'm in now is great. But I had 1 year where I was praying to work, praying, going back home, asking the Lord, why am I here? I hate it. And I don't want to be there. And they didn't pay me for two months. But that's a whole nother conversation. So yeah, when it's not yours, you really don't have a say.
Wow. Let's go ahead and turn this around,
Yeah.
because we've said a lot of the issues true. And even a lot of the parents here, the grandparents on here who have these millennials, Gen Zs, or how about themselves, they're looking for a way out. So we're going to talk to them tonight about a company that's flexible, that gives you the opportunity to be flexible. Two companies, real quick. And let me explain to you all the reason why we believe that what we're going to share with you tonight is the best thing on the planet, because it's based off something that everybody is doing or everybody desires to do. And if they have finances and time, they absolutely gonna do it. That's travel. Let's talk about it. Now, real quick, why travel? Why not? And we love coffee. Why not the coffee industry? We love to have electric power. We got that. Why not the power industry? Why not energy? We love all the other stuff. Do all of it. Do everything that you desire to do. However, we feel that you should have a travel business. You should be a travel business owner, because once again, it's flexible. Two companies, Planet Marketing, which is the marketing arm of the travel company that's 30 plus years old, IntelliTravel, 30 plus years old, the first travel company to give us the opportunity to be as flexible as we want, because we can work these things on the beaches. We can work this thing while we're at work. We can work it from home, right? And we have the ability to make money because it's online. It's over the internet. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, that makes us legitimate. You wouldn't have a professional like a Dr. Jessica Johnson if this wasn't a legitimate income. But Dr. Johnson, I want to talk to them about supplementing that income, so that if you need to stay on that job just until you can supplement that income or double that income, now you have something else to fall back on. So Dr. Johnson, real quick, in your own words, we're talking about the travel company, right? The commissions they pay, 70 to 80% in commission. And then we'll tell them how they can earn 7, 8, up to 9 streams of income. But talk a little bit about this travel venture that you as a millennial
Mhm.
decided to take part of in that 70 to 80% commission? Talk to them about that a little bit.
Yeah. So you guys throw it in the group chat. If over the past 12 months you have been on a trip, gone to the movies, seen a concert, rented a car, took a flight, in the past 12 months, if you've done anything related to travel, drop it in the chat. And I know everybody has done at least one of those things. So I need to see this chat moving. All right, I see people concentrating. All right, there's a me. Okay, me. Oh, a few times. Okay, for sure. Hello. Everybody on this line has traveled, will travel, wants to. Okay, now Jamaica. Okay, all right. Wants to travel, right? People are posting their group trips. I mean, people are becoming influencers in travel. Everybody's gonna travel, right? Okay, Linda J just came back that's my mom, y'all. She did just come back from a trip. So everybody's traveling. When I got out of pharmacy school and finished my residency, I said, I'm going to travel. My first flight ever was in 2015. I took a flight for work. First flight ever. I don't know about you guys, but we drove everywhere, right? When I was young, because flights were still expensive at that time. And then I got to go to the Dominican Republic. And I was like, oh, there's a whole other world out here. I got to go to Cuba. I took a cruise. I was like, wow, I really like this. I'm going to do this once a year. Can I tell you, I probably didn't do that once a year, but I at least try to go somewhere, right? Everybody's going to travel. And now I can, instead of spending money and creating memories, I can earn money and create memories on something that everybody on this line is going to do or has done.
I love that. I love that. It's fun, it's fast, it's simple. And many gig workers, people who are looking for, that gig, they use these platforms. We're talking about online, something
Mhm.
you can carry with you everywhere you go, but they're using these platforms to earn. We have people on this line right now that's earning hundreds of additional dollars per month. We have people on this line right now that's earned right now on this Zoom that's earning an additional thousands of dollars per month. Can I tell you that we have people on this Zoom tonight? Listen to me carefully. Millennials, Gen Zs, everybody. I need y'all to do me one favor. Lean forward. No, no, seriously, lean forward. You don't want to miss what I'm about to tell you. Yeah,
Come
no,
on,
I'm talking
Devin,
about
I see
you.
you. Come on
There you
in.
go. Forward. Listen, listen. We have people on this Zoom right now earning $500,000 in what we're sharing with you tonight on an annual basis. $500,000 part from the house. Wouldn't you like to be in that position? That's everybody, right?
For sure.
And so the streams of income, right? Commissions on the travel, that's inevitable. You're gonna do it anyway, if nothing else. Well, I don't know. I don't have to tell. Don't tell nobody. Just book it yourself. Book it through yourself. Get paid for it. Share with everybody you know, love, and trust. Right. Then the marketing arm of that travel company we just talked about, that's rock solid. Partner with all major vendors. Planet Marketing. Planet Marketing is that marketing arm. What does that do? When I got started, I shared it with my mom. I just shared it with people who were in my market, in my network. My mom said it made sense because she was traveling. She partnered with me. I'm now earning, residual income based off sharing it with my mom, one person who has over 100 people in her organization. You heard Dr. Johnson say her mother shared this business with her. It just makes sense. And to be able to earn that residual income, those streams of income, think about this. Think about this. You're working on that job, you have a career, you get paid once, twice a month, you get paid every Friday, whatever the case may be. But would you be okay? We're adding an additional 6, 7, 8, sometimes depending upon the weeks of the month, 9 checks on the top of what you already make. Would that give you more options? Right? I think so. And so that's a big deal, Dr. Johnson.
Mhm.
Being able to earn that income because you're working as a professional, you're a pharmacist. Do they give you the opportunity to earn 9 streams of that job? Is there any way to slice that 9 ways to get paid for that?
No. They slice it in taxes and they get paid, but I don't. So no. Somebody said, right. Keisha said, right. No, we get paid twice a month. And if you guys look into why we get paid twice a month, it's because they can take more taxes out of me. So that's just another, oh, I'm gonna get off of taxes, but no, twice a month is it.
I love that. I love that. Um, one of the things about doing something like this, you don't have to know how to do something like this. You don't have to have any experience. I got started in the mountains of Afghanistan. I was a soldier. I had experiences in soldiering. I had experiences in chasing bad guys. I was good at it. I know exactly what to do. Anyway, you don't have to have any experience. We're going to help you self-develop. We're going to coach you, train you, mentor you, because we want you out of that situation that you're in, and we want you to have a gig that can absolutely 100% work for you, even when you sleep, right? Dr. Johnson, most people have entrepreneur rights and don't even know it. You talked about having an entrepreneur spirit. Most of them don't even know it. They have a strong desire, right? They have a strong desire. We want to share with them that desire can help shape your destiny. Technology, connectivity. I don't know any millennials or Gen Zs that's not already on social media. Mike, how can I do this? How can I add? Talk to me about a little bit about how you could start in this business today, turn around, use your platforms that you have to let everybody know what you're doing without letting everybody know what you're doing. How do
Yeah.
you do that?
You're going to post pictures when you travel, right? Most people are posting their pictures, they're posting their videos, they got all their friends, on the group chat saying, look at us, we in Panama, we're in DR, we're in London, whatever the case may be, Bali behind me, so when you post that, people are going to like it because why? Everybody wants to travel. Everybody has a heart to see the world. And when you post that, all you're doing is sharing like, hey, I booked this through myself. I'm my best customer and I can book your travel or show you how to book your own travel and do the same thing I'm doing. I mean, I have one of my business partners that's on the line right now, met her through social media from an Instagram post, just from posting about travel. And so it's not rocket science. You're already doing the business, so why not put yourself in front of the commission that you're already paying to somebody else?
I love that. You can freelance. You can do it all, but if you can get internet, you can do this business. That answers that question. Can I do this? Will I have help? If you can get internet, you can do this business. I love that. Dr. Johnson, we said a lot, okay? The main thing we wanted to talk to the people who hurting, people hurting out there. And we know that those millennials, we know that the Gen Zs, you're going to be 40, you're going to be 50. Oh, it's coming. You might not know it now, but it's coming. But how would you like to be in a position where you don't answer to anybody? You answer to yourself. You're your own boss. You set your own hours and you control how much money you make. How would you like to be in that position, right? There's other things in place as well. We love to share with you. We're going to share with you, but let's talk about the investment because I can imagine that some millennials or Gen Zs are scared to death when it comes to, wait a minute, I hear y'all saying business. This is a business. I don't have credit. I don't have good credit. I don't need another loan. I can't. What is the price point of two companies? Two companies tonight in the largest, most lucrative industry in the world, corporate offices with live employees that work for you on your behalf. All the licenses taken care of on your behalf. The intellectual properties. You don't have to cross the T's and dot the I's. We have a legal department on your behalf. All that's taken care of. What is the price point to absolutely 100% get you started with these two companies we're talking about tonight?
Man, y'all not gonna believe this. $9 trillion industry. To break into a $9 trillion industry, it is $200. It's really $199.90. $200 one time. You never pay that again. You own the world for $200. Now, every month after your first 30 days, you have an overhead. If you're like McDonald's, you got to buy fries. I'm hungry. If you're like a gym, you got to buy weights. You got to keep the lights on. If you have a brick and mortar, that's your overhead, right? Your overhead for this business, two businesses, two companies, $2 a day. Now, I don't know where else you can pay $2 a day to have all that you have with this opportunity, but here you can. I'm living proof. And no matter how much money you make, we have people who make 500 extra dollars a month. We have people who make well over $100,000 extra per month. And no kidding, their overhead is still $2 a day. I mean, you don't have to buy property. You don't have to buy a vehicle. You don't have to buy products, but you sure can take a trip if you want to buy your own product. $200 a one-time investment, that's a tax-deductible investment. $60 a month, that's also tax-deductible. So you're going to get it back the year after.
That's a big deal. I want to real quick just open up the lines. Once again, this is something foundational. We just want to let you know that there's something optional out there. And please don't get off this Zoom tonight and don't get your questions answered. If you have a question, tonight is your night. We're operating in a season of boldness. Be bold, get your question answered. Give us the opportunity to get your question answered so you can make an informed, intelligent decision. Go ahead and text the person that invited you out tonight and tell them thank you, because they thought enough of you to put you in front of the information. You didn't know about this until tonight. And now you won't be able to sleep well, because when you go out your door and you see people moving around, knowing they're traveling, and some of those people are your family and friends, and if you decide not to capitalize, you're not going to sleep well at all. But if you decide to capitalize, you control your own destiny, and we're going to help you with that. So any questions, all we ask, if you do have any questions, that you can come off mute. You can put it in the chat. If you're driving or if you're a little bit shy, that's okay. Or if you don't want to ask it out publicly. But if you don't mind, if you do come off mute to ask your question, all we ask is that if you don't mind, if you please just state your name, let us know where you're chiming in from, and go ahead and let us know who invited you and ask your question. And if you're a guest tonight, I don't know if we covered this earlier, put in the chat who invited you out if you're a guest tonight. If you don't mind, if you can, put in the chat who invited you out, because it's a good chance they're on here and they want to see that you made it on, or shoot them a text, but let them know that you're here tonight. Any questions from any guest? Any questions from any guest tonight? Millennials, Gen Zs, any of you guys ready to earn that six-figure income? Any income in addition to what you're doing now? Anybody have any questions? Let us get your questions answered. Any questions? We always normally wait on that one person, then it opens up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shy. I see you. I see you. I feel it. I feel questions. Dr. Johnson, I feel in my spirit somebody got questions.
Oh, yeah, it's bubbling up. Maybe I'll ask a question. How about that? I'll
Let's
break
do
the
it.
ice.
Let's
I
do it.
know when I first got started, I had questions, and you don't have to reiterate. I had questions. I ask a lot of questions. And so one question I had was, because I was already busy, I have mentoring that I do. I'm trying to have that work-life balance, and I just thought I have too much on my plate to even do this. How will I have time to do this? How did you coach me through that, Director Brunner?
You did have a lot of questions. I don't know who wrote that in the chat. Somebody wrote a whole lot. I don't know who did that, but you did have no, you did have questions. That was a concern, because you are doing a lot of things. You have a nonprofit organization. You're doing more than most. You have active life, plant mom, cat mom, doggone full-time, demanding job, seriously, working with veterans. And so you wanted to know how you could juggle this. And what I told you, Dr. Johnson, is that you don't. You don't juggle it. You leverage. You leverage the time and talents of others. You leverage the time and talents of others who's willing to meet you in the middle to discuss how much time would you have to do this? How much income are you willing to make a month? Right? How many months are you willing to put into making that type of income per month? Right? And if we can get those addressed, will you partner with me and leverage me whenever it is that you need me? Do not go in this alone. You do not. And so we talked about that. And that's what each and every person would do, who feels they have a lot on their plate. You're going to leverage the time and talents of others, because this is the one thing that you want on your plate. Why? Because the world is traveling. It just makes sense. Did I answer that question, Dr. Johnson?
It did, and I'm here as a living witness that I did not know about leveraging other people in regard and being able to actually make an income off of leveraging the time with somebody else. I've only known to utilize my own time to create my own source of income. And this opportunity has shown me that I can have residual income. We kind of ran over that, but does anyone's job provide them residual income? Anybody? Oh, I see people like, girl, no, not mine, mine either, right? Um, and this opportunity is offering me residual income, even just after having two partners with me that's growing my network of travelpreneurs, just two, and now I have monthly income that's extra. You you're not gonna get that anywhere else. You're not gonna get that anywhere else. Um, I think we also talked about it because we're growing a network, right? People think about pyramids and direct sales and Ponzi schemes and things of that nature. Can you kind of talk about the benefits of your network?
Yeah, your network is your net worth. And when you talk about Ponzi schemes, pyramids, those are major concerns that you should be aware of because they are illegal. Here we have that rating with the Better Business Bureau. Would not partner with them. They wouldn't partner with us if we were illegal. We would probably have this Zoom tonight, but it may be in somebody's basement because we wouldn't want anybody to get public account of who we are and the names that we, called out. And so we're not illegal. We're not one of those things. We really do pay out 1099s. Uh, and a pyramid does not pay out a 1099. We really are in partnership with Mickey Mouse, with Sheraton, Hilton, uh, Enterprise. We really have a relationship with them, and we really can book your travel. So no, we're not a pyramid. We are legitimate, and you can come into the business direct to whomever bring you in, and you can make more money than them. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that when people say pyramid, oh, you can't make more money than the person at the top. I can tell you what to look for, but I'm not tonight. But here you can make more money than the person that brought you in. It's totally up to your effort. Seriously. And the key to this is I want to add this, that person is going to help you. That person absolutely is going to help you. So that's major. All right. That's a great question. Thank you for that.
Are there any other questions from the guests?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Just to flesh out what you guys just spoke about. The residual income. I understand the portion about getting discounts for yourself if you travel and earning a commission. If you bring someone in, someone signs up through you, what is that process of earning residual income based on, whomever joins your network? Like, what does that look like?
That's a great question. Is it Addie?
No, this is Trishana.
Okay. Got it. Trishana. Okay, Trishana, that's a great question. And I love that because it's direct. And so, Trishana, you're in the travel industry. You're in this business that we're talking about now. Um, Dr. Johnson, you share with her, she decides, hey, I want to partner with you. You didn't share with her, hey, let me book your travel the next time you travel. Yes, you would earn commissions off of her, but you want to earn income with her. You want to give her the opportunity to earn additional income as well. So you share with Dr. Johnson, you know what? Why don't you take a look at this as a business for yourself and partner with me in doing so? She says yes. Then, Trishana, you speak with me. Maybe we know each other from work or something, somewhere. You share with me the same. I decide, because I'm traveling already, it makes sense. I decide to partner with you. Now, I'm using two people for an example, because two people that partner with you directly, this company has the residual income component in place where you receive $4 every time somebody's partner with you, and Dr. Johnson turns around, go gets 10 people to partner with her if she choose. I turn around and do the same. They're attached to us, but guess who we're attached to? You. So that residual income pays $4 for all those people as well. But it only takes the first two to unlock what we call your matrix. We didn't go into great detail about that tonight. This was somewhat of just an introductory process to let everybody know that there's something out there better and something out there more. But that's how you tap into what we call residual income with two people attached to you personally, just two. I know there's a lot of things out there, a lot of companies. Uh, Two is very, 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 very generous, and it's travel. You don't have to twist our arms. All you did was just share with us that perhaps we may want to do what it is that you're doing as a business. And here's the kicker, Trishana. So thank you for this question. What if I decide, well, no, I don't want to do it. I just want you to book my travel. You still earn commission, and it's not personal, and you're not emotional about it. You still earn commission, right? But when two people partner with you direct as partners, you unlock that matrix, you start earning $4. And can I tell you that that $4 range from that one $4 bill, from that $4 all the way up to 118 plus $1,000 paid out by the 10th of every single month. The residual income is paid out every month on the 10th of every single month, or by the 10th of every month, like clockwork. So great question. I said a lot around that, but did you catch that? Did you capture that? I think that's what you was asking me. How does that residual work, right?
Yeah, I got it. So, well, let me just recap. So it's $4 per person, and it's once a month that you would be accumulating that or earning that residual week income.
The residual income, correct. When two people partner with you personally. And I don't want you to miss the illustration I gave about what happens if I go out and do the same thing and I have 10 people partner with me, or 100 or 1,000. That's 1,000 times $4. That's $4,000. This is 1,000 people partnering with me. But guess what? I'm attached to you. Now, there's some things that you have to do to get to that point, but it all starts with the first two people who partner with you. It unlocks that matrix. So now you can start earning that residual income that's coming to your household by the 10th of every single month. So that's pretty powerful. But yeah, thank you for that. Did you get that?
I think so. I understand what you're saying, but I also can tell that there's more involved. And, I guess it'd be my due diligence to kind of get a little bit more deeper on the information.
Oh, indeed. Indeed, Trishana. I love that. And who invited you out tonight, if you don't mind me asking?
This young lady named Dee, and I did speak to Jessica after.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Trishana, you're right. We do have a formal portion of what we're talking about tonight where you get all the details. But let's do this. When you get the opportunity, get with Dee, get with Dr. Johnson, because we're connected as well. I work with them as well. And let's have a conversation, you and I, over the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's get you the additional details, get all your questions answered, so that you can look at making an informed, intelligent decision. Let's do that over the next 24 to 48 hours, according to your schedule. Can we do that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. Any other questions? Great questions, Rashana. Any other questions from anybody else?
Kristen? Tristan, go ahead. All right, Tristan, you're on mute. If you wanted to ask your question, you can drop it in the chat or come off mute. Okay, go ahead and drop your question in the chat then, Tristan. We'll get that answered for you. So while Tristan is typing, any other questions? Okay, great question, Tristan. Is there a legacy built in? Go ahead, Director Broner.
Man, that's the best question. And we didn't even listen. Once again, so foundational tonight, piquing a lot of people's interest that yes, there's a legacy built in. I love that question. And as Trishana said earlier, that's something that you have to do in order to get that legacy. What is that? What does that look like here? What that looks like here is that you have to have 100 people attached to your organization. You become a director in the company. across 3 different legs, just 100. And I say just because some people are doing that themselves. Literally, they have 100 people attached to them personally. Some people are forming a team. The team is going out and your organization grows to a minimum of 100. And the company coins you as what we call a director, a one-star director. The directorship program goes from 1 to 9. But now you have unlocked the opportunity to earn a legacy for your family. Now, the legal team of Planet Marketing, right? They're going to send you at that point a document to your home. It's a legal binding document. You open that document, there's lines and opportunity for you to put names of beneficiaries whom you deem your heirs, stating not if, y'all, but when you transition, the person who you put on that list, all the income you're earning. Remember, we said there's people earning hundreds, thousands, $500,000. There's people earning millions of dollars in this business already that most of you haven't even heard of. But that legal binding document states that we're going to continue to pay your family, whom you deem your beneficiaries, your heirs, as if you were still here. That's the legacy program. And I'm going to be honest with you, that is a great question. And I've never seen a company or organization, another businesses that gives everybody the opportunity, not just pay the top hierarchy, but gives everybody the opportunity to leave a legacy for their family. Watch this, for generations to come. It doesn't stop. And it's going to outlast you. It's going to outlive you. That is a security. And we don't plan on using that no time soon, right? But man, it gives you a peace of mind to know that your family is out of harm's way because of the legacy. Because most people have to do what when you go? Start over. Most people have to start over. Your income is gone. So what do you think they have to do? Recreate that income or struggle trying to create that income. This company says you don't have to do that. And that is a great question. Thank you so much for that. And once again, man, that's a great question. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Any other great questions? Dr. Johnson, that was a great question.
That was,
All
yeah.
the questions are great, right?
That legacy is different. It's not life insurance that pays you one time and then it stops. Even my veterans, if anything happens to them while they were active duty, that money's going to run out. You retire from the military. If once you leave this earth, your money stops. It goes back to the treasury. So yeah, for someone to have the vision to think about your family's future and help you secure it, that's a whole nother thing right there for a $200 investment, guy. That's it.
Don't forget that part. Only a $200 investment. Wow. You're going to spend that in uniforms trying to get to work.
All right. Well, it's almost the top of the hour. You guys have been hanging in tight. I definitely appreciate everyone that came out this evening, especially the guests who honored the invitation of our business partners who asked you to be here. They really wanted you to see something that can secure you those freedoms that we all talk about: time freedom, personal freedom, financial freedom. If you think about your ideal job, your ideal business, your ideal life, here we're designing that one day at a time, and you have the ability to leverage the time and talents of other individuals to help you design exactly what it is that you want out of the rest of your life. So thank you for being here. Get back with the individual who invited you out. We want to make sure we get the rest of your questions answered if you didn't get to ask those this evening. Thank you, Director Broner, for your wisdom. We appreciate you for being a faux millennial this evening. My bad. And I definitely appreciate everyone's time this evening. You guys get back with the person who invited you, and we will definitely see you and welcome you as our new business partners soon, soon, soon. Have a great evening. Thanks.
Good night.